Hey everybody, Snowdog here. Good to see you all. Today we're going to be talking about sexuality and gender. And believe it or not, I am actually a boomer. Just. Born in 1964, which is the last year of boomers. So, yeah, I'm a boomer. And this is my opinion on, well, not so much an opinion, I suppose, more of the facts about my sexuality and gender. Last year in the UK, which was 2021, there was a census. We have a census every 10 years, which collects information about the population, and policy over the following 10 years is based upon what comes from it. So it's a useful thing, and it's very interesting. A lot of the things come back. In the last census, there was a very interesting addition, which has never been there before. There was two questions. One was, what do you consider to be your sexuality? And the other is, what gender do you consider yourself to be? So you could literally put down anything you liked. And I'm going to talk about what I wrote down. So basically this is officially what I am, because it went in the census. And it's also what I believe. First of all, we'll talk about gender. I was assigned male at birth. Pretty obvious I still am, obviously. But is that my gender? Well, sex, which is what we used to call gender, I think, is basically what your physical outside is, I guess. Whereas your actual gender is how you are inside yourself, in your mind, your heart, your soul, or however you see those things. For me, my external is male. On the inside, though, and I first identified as this back, about 35 years ago now, I come to think of it. So back in my 20s, early 20s, I identified this way, giving away my age here. I'm old, not that old. I already told you when I was born. Oh, bugger, you all know I'm old. Well, anyway, yes, so what I wrote down in the census and what I originally identified as all those years ago was that that I'm a man with a strong feminine side. I've been aware for a very long time that I have a lot of feminine characteristics and the way I think. I'm very in touch with my emotions and feelings. I feel a strong connection with women on an intellectual and emotional side, but I also connect well with men. What I feel is that sometimes I feel male, sometimes I feel female, sometimes I feel neither, other times I feel both. If I had to put it on a scale, I would say I probably feel about 10% female, about 5% male, and the rest of it's the middle ground, where it's neither or both, if you like. I think these days, the modern terms might be gender fluid, possibly, quite likely actually, or maybe gender queer. And I've thought about this and thought, am I these things? And I thought, well, maybe I am, but I still feel that I'm a man with a strong feminine side. So that's actually what I put in the census. One of the things is I realised that if I was in a male body or a female body, it wouldn't make any difference to me. I would feel the same either way. And being as I'm already in a male body and with the sexuality I have, it's just convenient. Okay? Which leads on conveniently to sexuality. So what is my sexuality and what did I put down? Well, I thought hard about this, and I've mostly considered myself straight my whole life. But I thought about that, and I thought, okay, how do I sort of conclude that's the case? And I thought, okay, I've only ever been attracted to femininity. That doesn't necessarily mean women, but it means people who are very, very feminine. Although so far I've only been attracted to women, and that includes trans women. But I've only ever had relationships with people who have been assigned female at birth. Would I interact with somebody who wasn't that? Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to rule it out. So because I don't want to rule out such things, that means that straight is limiting me beyond what I am. Maybe straight is not an ideal term these days. Maybe it's too limiting as a thing. It's like, I don't want to be, it's said like, well, you're straight, you're not allowed to do anything other than be straight. So what I put down is I decided that I would write down on the census that I'm heteroflexible, which means that although maybe I haven't had any relationships with anybody male or trans, but I won't rule it out. It's a potential possibility, however unlikely. So basically, I thought heteroflexible would be more an accurate description. Yeah, and being restrained by a pigeonhole, I don't like. I mean, to be ideal, in an ideal world, I'd like to see it where gender and sexuality are so irrelevant that it really doesn't make a big deal. I mean, obviously, things like sex from the point of medical things can make a difference. I mean, like if you're born with a womb or not, things like that can't sort of, they have certain medical effects, and that's that. But other than that, I don't really see that it should make much difference. I don't think people should be limited to gender or sexuality. I mean, if you go back thousands of years ago, homosexuality or any sexuality at all wasn't really a thing. It's like you were attracted to who you were attracted to. So I feel that it would be nice to go back to the kind of old ways, if you know what I mean, where if you're attracted to men, fine. If you're attracted to women, fine. If you're attracted to intersex, to transsexual, to nobody, it's all fine. It should all be down to what you feel yourself as a person. You are who you are. You can't change that. You can change how you interact with the world in regard of it and how open and honest you are about it, but you can't change who you are. I mean, my sexuality has always been the same, although the way I look at it may be slightly different now from it used to be. My gender is the same. I still feel the same person, but it's not as simple as just being male or female. I think when it comes to sexuality and gender, most of us are on a spectrum. Some people are very much one end or another of it. In other words, completely male in the way they think, completely straight in their sexuality, maybe. But I find most people aren't fully in one area or the other. Most people have a little bit of femininity. Most people have a little bit of masculinity, some more than others. But most of the time, most of the things are that we're right in the middle, you know? And that's basically it. So, yeah. And whatever your sexuality is, or gender is, or however you identify, and as some people say they identify as an Apache attack helicopter, well, if that's what you feel you are, hello, Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. or they helicopter. You know, if that's how you identify, I'm happy with that. But I also don't expect people to judge others. If people judge me for how I am, that's on them, not on me. I'm me. I'm not going to change regardless of a person's opinion. They can dislike it as much as they want to. It's not going to change me. And it shouldn't change you either. Anyway, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. So I'll say goodbye for now. Love to you all. Even the haters. Love you, haters. And bye for now.